everyone, and welcome back to another great episode of Raihana's Cuisines. Today we're going to be making something different with regular pilaf or pilau. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be making ground beef keema or chundo pilau. We love having this at our house. I hope you guys like this recipe too. So let's get started with our basic ingredients here. What I have here is I have 3 cups of regular jasmine rice that I washed, and I just soaked them for about 25-30 minutes. Now you don't really have to soak it if you don't want to, but just so that it cooks faster, I went ahead and soaked it. And then we have here is I have about half an onion, like a medium-sized onion that I have chopped up. As far as our spices, I have cloves. I have red chilies, which are completely optional. They're dried. I have some cardamom pods here. I have some black pepper, and this is mixed with green and red pepper as well. Again, this is completely optional. I have a cinnamon stick, and I have some cumin. Because we have the 2 cups of rice, I have 3 cups of water here. Then I have here in a packet some ground beef keema or chundo that I have a video on that I have done with my mom, and we made a bunch of it and froze it. So I took it out and we're going to use that today, and we're going to use about 1.5 cups. And this really depends on how much meat you want in your chundo. If you've got meat eaters, put a lot. If not, it's up to you. And the other thing we're also going to put in is we're going to put in some coleslaw. Now I have ready-made coleslaw here, and it's got a little bit of carrots in there, and it's got a little bit of the red cabbage in there. It's totally optional as far as if you want to, chop your own salad or chop your own coleslaw at home or the cabbage at home. I try and do things very convenient because I know lots of people, lots of mothers out there have requested easy, fast recipes. So I have this is what we're going to be using. I have some ginger and garlic, and I have about 1 large and 1 medium-sized potato, which is again optional, and it also depends on how many potatoes you want to put in or how much less. And then it looks like my oil is gone from here. So I have some oil here. Now you could use olive oil. I just had this sitting in the in our little measuring cup, so I'm just going to use that. It's just canola oil, so I'm going to be using that. But if you want to use olive oil, that's perfectly fine. So the trick to making pilaf or pilau is so simple. The one thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you fry your spices in the oil, and that really releases all that really good aromas from it, and this is what makes the pilau or pilaf smell really good. This was an advice that I had gotten from my husband's grandmother, who's not with us anymore, and she always used to tell me, the best trick to a great pilaf or pilau is frying the spices in the oil. So what we're going to do is, and the pilau always, sometimes it's always nice to have just a little bit more oil than regular rice that we're making, just because we're going to be frying the spices in there. And if the oil is just a little bit more, it keeps the rice really nice and moist, and that's what kind of differs the taste and the difference between the regular rice and the pilaf. So I have here in my pot, I put about a good 3 tablespoons of canola oil in there. And the first spice that I'm going to be putting in is the cumin seeds. And I want the cumin seeds to really fry up really nice. Okay, once they just start frying up just a little bit, we'll see some bubbles in there, and then we're going to go ahead and add the rest of the spices in there. And I can already smell the aroma of the cumin. Smells wonderful. Just make sure you don't burn the spices. So we're just gonna fry up the spices just a little bit. And the other thing also that makes a difference is when you fry your garlic and ginger in the oil. Really gets the, really smells and tastes wonderful. Okay. So once that's fried up a little bit, we're gonna go ahead and add our onions in there. Make sure you guys check out my recipe. I also am going to be doing a carrot, Granny Smith apple and mango chutney that's going to go with, not chutney, but like sambhar that's going to go really nice with this pulao. So now I'm just going to go ahead and chop or peel my other tomato or potato here. And the type of pieces that we're gonna put in here is we're gonna make about 1-inch cubed pieces, so they're gonna cook faster. And they'll really kind of be able to fit into this pulao really, really well. Okay. And if you guys really like to have bigger pieces in there, it really doesn't matter. It's really how you like to, how big your family likes the potatoes in there. We're going to go ahead and season this with salt. And always remember, pilau requires just a little bit more salt in there, because once all the ingredients go in there, it will lessen, because it's also going to season the coleslaw mix and the rice. When you feel or when you see your potatoes kind of getting half done, like for instance, if you see this potato here, you see like this one here, it's not done, but then on the side, it's already starting to get done. So they're actually half cooked already. We're gonna go ahead and add about 3 cups of our coleslaw mix in here. Now, if you wanted to make this spicy, you can go ahead and add any type of chilies that you like. I'm going to go ahead and drain this water because I don't want too much the gluten to come out of that, and then what's going to happen is it's going to get sticky, so I don't want my rice to get sticky. Okay? I think it looks great. So to this, I'm going to go ahead and add my rice in here. Okay. And then I'm going to increase the heat because I kind of want the rice to fry with everything else. So I've increased the heat. We're just going to let it come up to temperature. I did give it a taste test. It's got perfect amount of salt in here. Okay. Don't know if you can hear, but it's coming up to temperature as we speak. Now we're going to go ahead and add our keema inside, and I'm adding about 1.5 cups. Okay. Now it's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and add our water in here. So every time that you use, let's say if you use 2 cups of rice, my measurement to that would be 2.5 cups of water. I don't double the amount of my water in there just because I like my rice. I'll show you how the grains are going to be so nice and long, and it's going to be chutta. What it's called is it's going to be separate. It's not going to stick together. And everybody in our house is really used to chutta rice, which is a separate rice, or excuse me, not sticky rice. So this is why my ratio is never double. Even if I don't soak my rice, it's never double. So if you use 4 cups of rice, I use 4.5 cups of water. So I just add 1/2 cup more. So that works well for me. But if you have another measurement that works great for you, then just keep on using your own measurement. But so basically this is it. I'm just gonna let it come to a boil. So our rice has come to a boil. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to go ahead and completely put our temperature on low, the lowest setting. And then we're going to cover it and we're going to let it cook for another 15 to 20 minutes until the water has disappeared and the rice is nice and fluffy. So we're back here. Our pilau is done. Our pilaf is done. It took about 20 minutes. I haven't opened it, but I've seen that the water has disappeared, and I kind of want us to look at it together so you can see. Okay. At this time, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put a spoon and start stirring it right away. What's going to happen is the rice is very, very sensitive right now. So you want to take like a fork or a tongs. Obviously be careful that you don't scratch your saucepan, and you just kind of move it around. You just want to move it around just to make sure that the bottom rice is also done. And this is how I do my pilaf. I don't mix it really like vigorously. And I'm just gonna see if my potatoes are done, and my potatoes are all cooked through. So our pilau is done. So at this point, I've turned off our stove, and very gently, or I'm just gonna leave it in the saucepan here and give it a good taste test and see how it tastes like. Okay. Now I also wanted to show you here that I have a video that I have done, a quick tutorial on how to do sambhar that goes great with this pilaf. So make sure if you want to learn how to do this or you want to see how I do it, just make sure and watch this video. So I'm just going to take a couple here for my taste test. And grab my fork. You have to be patient with me because it is really, really hot. What a great dinner. The potatoes are really nice and soft. And I like this pilaf because the ground beef, you know, because it's ground beef, it's all in there. So like when you have big chunks of meat or chicken, you have to make sure you cut it. And this comes in every bite. And then you can even feel the crunch a little bit of the coleslaw that we put in. It's an absolutely wonderful, wonderful pilau or pilaf. I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. Make sure you send me an email if you have any questions under Raihana's Cuisines at gmail.com, or you can follow me on Facebook. You can leave me comments on YouTube and I'll reply them right away. This concludes our episode of making chundo, keema, or ground beef pilaf or pilau. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Raihana's Cuisines. Hope you can join me here next time with another great recipe. See you then, friends.